Hey, it's Andrea Caprio here. So nice to be here with you after my well-deserved 2 weeks break. I guess you have missed me, or maybe not. Maybe you haven't realized. Probably not, right? But I was away for 2 weeks on holiday, and it was really, really good. But I'm back, and I have a really interesting theme today for you, where I want to speak to you about a very actual theme about anxiety and depression and how to overcome it with healthy eating, right? As you all know, of course, a lot of people struggle with anxiety and depression, maybe low mood or stress or worrying also, and especially at the moment through the pandemic, global warming, all the different movements that are around there, all the information that comes in, the fake information and so on, produces a lot of anxiety, worry, and depression. Now, as much as you cannot change, obviously, or certain things you cannot change that get to you, you can always, of course, improve that through lifestyle, stress management techniques, sleep, and so on. But today I want especially to talk about how to improve anxiety and depression through healthy eating, which is actually the easiest way, right? The most effective and simplest way is actually to improve that emotional health through a healthy diet. So I will share a couple of tips and tell you a little bit how everything is related. But just for you to know as well, there is a link here either in the description or in the comments down here where you can get access to my blog to read the whole blog post with all those food tips. So I really put together how to improve your anxiety, what's important there. It basically has to do with neurotransmitters, going to go into that just now, and how to improve those with which foods, basically. So I give you even the food list. So a really interesting theme, something I'm really very passionate about, and you're going to learn it. And it's simple. Now, just know that, of course, an overall healthy lifestyle and healthy eating is important. If you eat a really crappy diet and you have an unhealthy lifestyle, even if you eat those foods, it will probably not do much, right? So it's really important that you have an overall healthy lifestyle and healthy eating habits, and you take out like processed foods, sugar, anything you might be intolerant to, and you focus on those good foods. Now, I spoke earlier about neurotransmitters, and the neurotransmitters are similar to the hormones, really responsible for a lot of function in your body, and especially to do, in our case, with mood. Things like serotonin, dopamine, and so on have a very important function on our mood. And we have various ways of actually boosting those, and I will share that with you. But as I mentioned, a healthy eating and a healthy gut is already very important for having a good mood, right? We have something that is called gut-brain axis, so axis basically from the gut to the brain, which is basically a bi-directional direct line from one to the other, which goes in both ways. So if we eat healthy and our gut is healthy, it will have a positive effect on our mood and our brain, and vice versa, of course. So be careful about also how you do your self-talk, right? If you have a negative self-talk, you will affect negatively your gut as well. And just as a little tidbit here and add-on information, and I wonder if you knew that, is that serotonin is actually produced mostly in your gut. About 90% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. So meaning a healthy gut bacteria is very important for you to have enough serotonin. So I guess I sold you, or I hope so. So let's dive in, of course, with what foods you can eat to boost some of your neurotransmitters. So let's start with actually the serotonin, right? As I mentioned, serotonin is a neurotransmitter. It has a lot of effects on mood, appetite, sleep. They directly, by the way, talk to each other. So it talks to the other neurotransmitters. It also talks to the hormones. So it's very important that you have a good serotonin level. And as I mentioned, a healthy diet can be very powerful in increasing those. specific foods that help with increasing serotonin is, and you're gonna love this, is dark chocolate, right? Now, dark chocolate, when I say that, I always mean like 80% and plus, because otherwise you have a lot of sugar in or a lot of milk, and that might also actually have negative side effects. So it can be good, but I usually recommend rather dark chocolate 80% plus, which improves your serotonin levels. Blueberries as well are really, really great. Maca powder, the maca root, I don't know if you know that, it's a South American root. I love it. I just love the taste of the smell of it. It's a very earthy smell, kind of vanilla type. I add it actually to my smoothie every morning. So that's why I'm probably so chilled, right? But maca root is really, really great for your serotonin levels. Mung beans as well, also by the way other beans, but mung beans specifically, and ginseng as well. There's of course other food as well, but these are specific foods. Now let's jump to the next one, and that is dopamine, right? Dopamine is the feel-good chemical in our brain, right? And it's usually released when we experience pleasure. And that's why so often people actually crave sugar or even alcohol or drugs or so, because all this is normally releasing dopamine. Now, I will obviously not tell you to eat sugar, take drugs, or drink alcohol, so the glass of wine might be an exception. But having said that, there are a lot of other things how you boost your dopamine levels in a better way than that. And that is also, something that helps you to just feel better and increase also the other neurotransmitters. So one caffeine is can be good. Now coffee and tea is obviously the option. I would usually recommend green tea. Too much coffee, or too much caffeine rather, which you find in coffee and black tea, can be harmful. But a little bit might help to increase your dopamine levels. But as I said, green tea for me is the best option to feel more alert and increase those. Again, chocolate, another plus point for dark chocolate. So, if anybody tells you not to eat chocolate, please do show them my article or let them listen to it. Dark chocolate is good, again, 80% or plus, and obviously not in big amounts, right? A small little piece of chocolate is all you need, right? And your dopamine goes up. Protein is a really, really good source for dopamine, by the way. Protein in general is good for your neurotransmitters. Dopamine is dependent on certain amino acids, serotonin as well, and you have that usually in a complete protein. You find that such as chicken, eggs, meat, fish, also in legumes and beans you can find it, and this will definitely help you. Adding this to your diet will make you just happier, right? And improve your mood and feel good about it, about yourself and about life in general. And then last but not least, nuts and seeds are also really, really great to increase your dopamine, which then your body breaks basically down into amino acids. Tyrosine, by the way, is the one that is responsible for your dopamine. So adding tyrosine is sometimes something which is called an amino acid protocol. I work with some of my clients who have specific issues around that. So snacking on a handful of nuts during the day can help you feel better, right? Again, here, word of warning, too many nuts and seeds are also counterproductive, because of course they have a lot of fat, and that then might add that either your body struggles with digesting all this fat, and also it can obviously, too much fat can add as too much fat, right? So keep it in lower portions, and maybe just a small little handful or so. Now next on our list is oxytocin levels. Now, oxytocin is a natural neurotransmitter that helps people to bond, right? And have more positive emotions. And that is so much needed right now. I don't know about you, but still many countries are in lockdown or, social distance. And I think we all got far more careful. We definitely have less social contacts. So it's important to make sure we have enough social contacts and, have positive emotions. But again, here, as much as ideally you should bond with people or, work on developing positive emotion. And all these are things I work with my clients on, changing from negative to positive emotions, for example. So triggering feelings of love and long-lasting attachment is really what's important for our health and for our mood, and, can help you overcome anxiety and depression. So again, here, there are a couple of foods that can boost your oxytocin levels and make you feel better. Of course, as you eat, add more and more to it. It's not like just a once-off thing. It's like a general, like overall thing. And good choices for improving your oxytocin levels are fruit and vegetables. Chicken and turkey as well are really great. Things like pork, fish, quinoa, tofu. However, tofu, be always careful, not too much. Almonds, olive oil, avocado, and chicken liver as well. So these are a couple of areas. But also remember, it's always about everything together. So you want to look equally into your lifestyle, sleep, exercise. Real exercise is really great booster for all these three. Sleep, of course, the melatonin from your sleep. Stress management techniques like meditation help you, and so on. And of course, an overall healthy diet, keeping out your processed foods, keeping out the sugar, anything you might be maybe intolerant to. If you're intolerant to gluten or dairy, you want to keep that out, because that is basically to the next point I'm coming, is foods that reduce inflammation in the brain and body, because that's also important, right? If you have too high inflammation, first of all, of course, your body, your physical health will suffer. It can lead to cardiovascular issues, cancer, etc., etc. But also, if you have high inflammation, it can lead to memory loss. It can lead to bad mood. As I mentioned earlier already, hormones are very important. I had a lot of issue with that. So when inflammation is too high, we get often more feelings of anxiety, depression, feel low, and stress as well, right? And usually then actually it gets to a vicious circle, because often we reach to sugar, and that sets off negative emotions and more inflammation. So stay away from sugar. Very, very important. It may seem maybe to be a quick fix, but it's just increasing inflammation in your body and make everything worse, right? Now, how can we reduce inflammation in the brain and body? And there are really great ways is add a super healthy diet. Ideally, you want to add organic food, lots of fruits and vegetables like blueberries, raspberries, spinach, kale, a lot of things like broccoli, cabbage, and so on. They are all really helpful. The rainbow colors, basically, you want to include whole grains like quinoa and brown rice, beans and legumes, black beans, lentils. As I mentioned, also healthy protein is really great. A little bit of healthy nuts and seeds, or so on, healthy oils, omega-3 oils. Fish is really great as well, and omega-3 oils that can really help for this. So you have, of course, here a couple of ideas that help you to improve your anxiety and your depression. I would love to know, what is the one thing that you can implement right now? I always like, to have my people implement things and come up with action steps. Talk is cheap, right? Action is what we need. So if you can just include one of this food in your daily diet, what would it be to improve, your overall well-being? So I invite you to share maybe in the comments what you're doing. Otherwise, check out my blog post here as well, where you can find out more about all those foods, and you have the list all together. My name is Andrea Capri. I would love to hear from you. Maybe give me a little thumbs up or so, or share this with other people. Or if you want, maybe, just have some comments in here. If you need my help, also, if you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe you have some anxiety or depression or some other stress or health issues, and you want my help with, just either send me a comment, or in the blog post there's also a link where you can actually apply for a free consultation with me. And you can of course also be in my Facebook group and join me there and get more information in there. I look forward meeting you next time, and until then, go and eat some healthy food to boost your serotonin, dopamine levels, and really live a healthy life. See you soon. Bye bye.